This is News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4 this Monday afternoon.
We are facing 2 alert days for the extremely warm temperatures, and we'll get to that in just a moment.
But first, there are some new developments in the Reedsburg area where 9 teenagers are cited for disorderly conduct after reports of harassing behavior toward the Amish community.
Yeah, this comes on the heels of Reedsburg High School canceling the football team's first 2 games due to unspecified conduct by football players. But the Sauk County Sheriff did confirm some of the juveniles cited were members of the team. We will have a live report from Reedsburg coming up.
Well, if you've stepped outside today at all, you certainly know it's just plain hot out.
That is for sure.
Right now, there is a slew of excessive heat warnings across southern Wisconsin. We have live team coverage of this dangerous heat and what you need to know over the next 48 hours. Let's begin with meteorologist Kelly Slifka with the certified first warn forecast. Kelly?
Yeah, it is feeling like a sauna out here on the patio, and that's because I don't have any wind. I'm actually in the shade, but there's no breeze right now, so it is a stifling heat and humidity that we're dealing with. We've had that heat index, and I'll show you those coming up. Pretty impressive. Right now, though, we do have the first warn alert day for today and also tomorrow. And it's not only because of the heat, these high heat indices, maybe up close to 110, but also, especially it looks like tomorrow evening, we could see some strong to severe storms. We'll talk more about that coming up. Otherwise, right now, these are the actual temperatures: 93, 95 in Lone Rock, 97 in Boscobel, Janesville at 93 as well. This is what it feels like when you factor in that humidity. It feels like 105 in Madison, the Dells, 110, 114 in Boscobel. So oppressive heat and humidity across all of southern Wisconsin. And Middleton feels like 108. Sauk City feels like 109. These are the dew point temperatures. Look at that. Decorah, Iowa, 82. Now, that's the highest dew point I know I've ever been in. That was back in 1999. And believe me, that's terrible. But even 76, that's oppressive humidity, and that's what we're dealing with here in the Madison area. And we're going to have to deal with this again tomorrow with these dew point temperatures well into the 70s. We do have the excessive heat warning for all of southern Wisconsin. This is in effect until 8 o'clock. I wouldn't doubt if they don't issue one for tomorrow. So a lake or the pool would be a good place to be. Here we're looking at our Edgewood sky cam overlooking Lake Mendota. So we're in the 90s right now. We'll stay in the 90s, probably not dropping below the 80s until we get after midnight tonight. So it's going to be another humid night tonight. So you will need that AC. We'll talk about the heat continuing tomorrow and also track those storms tomorrow evening and when we get a break from the heat coming up in about 15 minutes.
Thank you, Kelly. This extreme heat can be a bust for businesses, especially the ones that rely on the environment.
Yeah, our Meryl Hubbard is at Fitchburg Farms greenhouses where they've had to close their operation to keep patrons and plants safe in the heat. Meryl. Yeah, Braden and Brady, it is really, really hot out here, and Fitchburg Farms had to adjust their hours today because of this heat. And that's because this greenhouse can reach over 128 degrees on a day like today. This is the first time this summer that Fitchburg Farms has needed to change its normal hours because of heat. But employees here have learned from years past that heat like this can raise risks for customers, workers, and of course the plants. So to keep everyone safe from heat exhaustion, it will be closed during afternoon hours for at least today and tomorrow. And employees are paying attention to their mum plants.
Heat causes mums to bloom early. And so then if it throws off the timing of our mums, then that kind of like throws a whole other kink into the chain that we're not used to, because we, grow these for early September and those for mid-September and those for late September. But if they all pop at the same time, then we don't have inventory later in the year.
Mums make up about 80% of the farm's fall income. The heat may mess with the mums' timeline, but Fitchburg Farms says it's taking extra mum measures to keep them on track in the heat. Now, like I said, the hours during the afternoon, they're closed during that time. But if you need to come in the morning for any plants or anything, you can when it's a little bit cooler out. Reporting live in Fitchburg, Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Meryl. Well, you can stay up to date on the weather on our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hourly forecasts, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. We've learned today Sauk County Sheriff's Office has cited 9 teens with disorderly conduct toward the Amish community.
Yeah, that's coming more than a week after Reedsburg High School canceled its first 2 football games of the season. Tanasia Shaw is live outside the school. And Tanasia, we just learned the ages of these kids.
Yep, so the victims are, the suspects are ages 15 to 17. Some of them attending this school behind me right here. This is Reedsburg Area High School here in Reedsburg, where I am right now. Here is what we know. So we do know that on August 11th, Sauk County Sheriff Department responded to a rural area out here in Reedsburg. They said they received reports about threats towards members of the Amish community, excuse me. After that, about a week later, Reedsburg Area School that's right behind me said that they're canceling their first 2 games because of an investigation and because of safety. Now, I am in talks with Sauk County Sheriff, and he told me that we don't know if there's any damages or any fires, but at 5, I did get a chance to get reaction from community members.
All right, Tanasia, thank you. Oh, to an update on Baraboo Police. A police officer has resigned and 2 others are still on the force following an investigation into the distribution of cocaine. According to a release by the Baraboo Police Department, the 2 staying on were found to not have committed any criminal wrongdoing. Meanwhile, Derek Birch resigned from the department prior to the completion of the department's internal investigation. The investigation stems from the arrest of William Deppie. The Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigation is continuing its own investigation.
And former President Donald Trump is attempting to tie Vice President Kamala Harris to the Biden administration's chaotic and deadly withdrawal of U.S. soldiers from Afghanistan 3 years ago.
CBS's Skylar Henry has more details from the White House.
Present! Oh!
Former President Donald Trump stood alongside family of service members killed during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan and laid a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery. It was 3 years ago today, a suicide bomb attack at the Kabul airport killed more than 100 Afghans and 13 U.S. service members. Speaking to National Guard Association members in Detroit, Trump looked to blame Vice President Kamala Harris for the pullout.
Caused by Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, the humiliation in Afghanistan set off the collapse of American credibility and respect all around the world.
During his administration, Trump signed a withdrawal agreement with the Taliban that the Biden administration carried out.
Vice President says she was that last person in the room on that decision. Is that failure also hers?
We've got to stop assigning partisan blame on fundamental things like our national security.
The Harris campaign tells CBS News the vice president will start focusing more on foreign policy as she works to persuade more voters that she's ready to become commander-in-chief. Harris returns to the campaign trail later this week with a bus tour of Georgia. Her campaign sees it as a state that's in play and where they're willing to spend some of the more than $500 million already raised on advertising and get out the vote efforts. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Now, additionally, Harris and Trump are scheduled to debate each other on September 10th, but the 2 sides are still squabbling over the ground rules. The Harris campaign wants the candidates' mics left on all the time, as opposed to only when it's that one candidate's turn to speak, while Trump says he does not want the debate to be moderated by ABC News as it is currently scheduled.
As part of our 3 for the People election coverage, political reporter Will Keneally traveled to western Dane County. Here it is.
We followed the Baldwin campaign as part of her statewide tour, taking us from Madison up Highway 14 to the small community of Black Earth, where Baldwin met with voters.
This is one of the first events Baldwin has held since Kamala Harris accepted the Democratic nomination. Janet Brandt, who works with a progressive group in western Dane County, says she can feel the change in energy.
We're really excited. We thought it was just a wonderful get-together. You just need to have a shot in the arm once in a while, and right now we feel we've got the best candidates.
She tells us the area around Black Earth is a purple part of the state, a key area where both U.S. Senate candidates may try and turn out votes. We'll have more from the event coming up tonight at 5.
Reporting from Black Earth, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
And one other political note today, Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein will remain on the ballot in Wisconsin after the state Supreme Court decided not to hear a Democratic challenge seeking to oust her. Democrats are concerned third-party candidates could draw votes away from Vice President Kamala Harris and help Republican former President Donald Trump win Wisconsin. Well, coming up next on Live at 4 is National Dog Day.
We'll show you how you can make sure furry friends everywhere have the chance to thrive. That's coming up.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
I love that my daughter still needs me, but sometimes I can't help due to burning and stabbing pain in my hands. so I use Nervive.
Nervive's clinical dose of ALA reduces nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days.
Now I can help again. Feel the difference with Nervive.
Your bedroom should be an oasis of relaxation, but also a space to re-energize for the day ahead. BDI has reinvented what bedroom furniture can be. The Link Bedroom Collection is designed for today's connected lifestyle, offering innovative features that astound at every turn. And it's on sale now through September 9th. See Link at the Century House on University Avenue in Madison or online at centuryhouseinc.com. Visit today and create the bedroom of your dreams.
More lies from Donald Trump. The truth? On Kamala Harris's watch, violent crime went down. Her record as district attorney and attorney general, locking up child abusers, online predators, and violent offenders, and shutting down international drug cartels. Under Donald Trump, a violent crime wave, and Trump ordered MAGA extremists to kill the bipartisan border security bill. Trump just talks tough. Kamala Harris is tough.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
This summer, feel confident from head to toe with Sono Bello permanent fat removal and get summer body ready in just one visit.
I saw the results immediately.
It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sono Bello's biggest sale of the year. Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It will change your life. It did for me.
I can't wait till the summertime hit. Hot Mom Summer, here I come.
Call 1-800-905-6520 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Chain link is out and aluminum is in this season. These aluminum fences are not only beautiful and durable, but backed by a lifetime warranty too. Act fast! Revamp is offering $1,000 off a qualified purchase plus a free single gate. Scan the code, check us out online, or give us a call for your free quote today.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All you can eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
Well, a bipartisan task force toured the Pennsylvania field today where a gunman tried to assassinate former President Donald Trump.
They also made it onto the rooftop where the 20-year-old gunman was waiting and ultimately opened fire, hitting Trump, critically injuring 2 rallygoers and killing another. Lawmakers say it was important to be in the physical space where the violence occurred.
The big thing for us being here today was to actually be on the ground, get familiar with the ground, be comfortable with the questions we were going to ask because of the way it was laid out.
I definitely took note today that there were a lot of lines of sight that appear to have been unsecured that day, that didn't have eyes on or that weren't secured, and certainly at this point, a lot more questions than answers.
The task force does have subpoena power as it tries to identify security failures. The panel has until December 13th to submit its findings, including any recommendations for legislative reforms.
Well, former top U.S. infectious disease official Dr. Anthony Fauci is currently recovering at home from a West Nile infection. He was hospitalized for nearly a week after contracting the virus, which is spread through the bite of an infected mosquito. So far this year, more than 215 cases of West Nile have been reported in more than 30 states. West Nile virus infection causes no symptoms in most people, but in others, it can develop fever, body aches, joint pains, and rash, according to the CDC.
It's a mosquito-borne illness, so you try to avoid mosquitoes. Dawn and dusk is when they tend to bite. Wear clothing that covers your skin. You can have insect repellent, and then get rid of standing water because in the standing water, that's where the mosquitoes can multiply and breed.
People at risk for severe illness include the elderly and people who are immunocompromised. The CDC says while there is no treatment for West Nile, rest, fluids, and pain medications may help alleviate some of those symptoms.
Well, let's get a look at your first warn forecast. Meteorologist Kelly Slivka is outside on the patio, and I'm going to use a scientific weather term. It's gross.
Gross? Okay. That's not one of the S words I was going to use, but I get your point. Yeah, it is definitely a sweaty, spicy, a sizzling late afternoon on this Monday. we're going to have to deal with tomorrow as well. But after that, it looks like things will be improving. All right, we are looking at a first warning alert day because of the high heat index. We've seen them already up to 114. I'll show you some of the other ones coming up. All of southern Wisconsin, this is right through tomorrow evening. Now, it's not only going to be the heat the next couple of days, there are also the possibility of a couple of rounds of some storms rolling through during the evening overnight period, and we'll show you those coming up as well. Our future track heat index, we've been in the triple digits, but they will back off a little bit. This computer model is actually indicating a little bit of an outflow boundary from storms up to the north. May give some of our western counties a little bit of a break from the heat and humidity on the backside of it, but I don't think here in Madison we'll see much relief from that. All right, we had highs today in the low to mid 90s. That'll be the same case again tomorrow. Heat index again tomorrow, 100 to 110 generally, but along the Wisconsin River Valley, it could be up close to 115. Scattered evening storms tonight, and this is going to be mainly to the north of Madison. Then again tomorrow evening, that may be including the Madison area. Right now, our weather track pretty quiet around here. We've got this big dome of high pressure, that ridge that's bringing all that heat from the south, and everything's riding up and around that, at least for now. Dew point temperature 76 in Madison, 77 in Lone Rock, 78 in the Dells. So this is oppressive humidity that we have out here. Tomorrow's going to be another very humid day, but we do notice those drop off slowly on Wednesday, and especially you'll notice a drop in the humidity by Thursday and Friday, setting up to be a pretty nice weekend. Right now, our radar 3000 not picking up anything, but we do have a slight risk of severe weather. It looks like these will be very isolated, but we've got all this heat, all this moisture in place. That's a lot of potential energy. So any storm that fires up does have the potential of producing some large hail and some gusty winds. As we go into Tuesday, a slight risk of severe weather continues for all of southern Wisconsin. Once again, these will be mainly isolated strong storms, but with all that heat and humidity around, that could produce some explosive storms in the evening. So this evening, at least for the next several hours, should be quiet. We're just going to be hot. We're not going to drop below 80 until after midnight tonight. Then here comes one of those clusters of storms. Most of this staying to our north, but right around midnight, we may see some of this move through the Madison area. Some areas to the west may get a little bit of a break from that humidity. That should be ending by 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, tomorrow, most of the day, just hot and dry, low to mid 90s most areas. Noticing some showers trying to develop to our south and west. We'll see how this develops. This computer model not looking too aggressive, but we'll have to wait and see on that because we do have all this heat and humidity. Could produce some stronger storms tomorrow evening. Temperatures right now, 93 in Madison, 95 in Lone Rock, 97 in Boscobel. So it is a steamy late afternoon headed in the evening across Dane County, 95 right now in Middleton, a 90 in Sun Prairie. First warning forecast, the alert day for tomorrow. We're looking at scattered storms on Thursday. Those should be coming to an end. Noticing the drop in temperatures will be in the upper 70s to low 80s this weekend. Looking like a beautiful Labor Day weekend. Dry weather. When can we get that 3 days in a row for the holiday weekend? But it looks like that'll be the case this year.
Thank you, Kelly. Well, today is National Dog Day. It's an opportunity to celebrate our canine companions.
And as CBS's Danya Backus shows us, it's also a reminder of how people everywhere can help find loving homes for dogs.
Among the dozens of dogs waiting to be adopted at Best Friends Pet Adoption Center in Los Angeles, David Humphrey found the perfect match.
I just knew because he has high energy, literally just like my dog. They're like the same. They have a sister to me.
He had been searching for months for a sibling companion for his recently rescued dog, Boba. He's naming this one
maybe Earl Grey, like Earl Grey tea, because he's gray. And I can kind of keep the same like tea, boba tea, Earl Grey tea.
Best Friends Animal Society takes dogs and cats from overcrowded animal shelters and brings them to their adoption centers in an effort to save their lives.
Our goal is to end the killing of cats and dogs in America's shelters by 2025.
Brittany Thorne is the executive director for Best Friends in Los Angeles. Last year, more than 207,000 dogs were put down in shelters for being homeless.
It happens when there's just no space for an animal in a shelter, simply because the animal doesn't have a place to call home. And so those animals do end up being killed in shelters.
She says adoption is a great way to prevent those deaths.
If you aren't ready to make a full-time dog ownership commitment, Brittany says you can foster a dog for a shorter time period or even volunteer at an adoption center.
It really not only gives the animal a break from the shelter, but it also provides these great notes of how an animal acts in a home environment.
Earl Grey is enjoying his new family, and his owner feels good knowing he's helped man's best friend. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Roughly 7 million people in America are planning to get a pet this year.
Best Friends says if 6% choose to adopt versus purchase their pets, the killing of dogs and cats would end in our nation's shelters. Did you ever grow up with a dog or anything?
I did, absolutely. My roommate has a dog right now, and I will say it is the cutest dog you've ever seen in your whole life. I'm not biased at all.
So you're going to get this dog a treat for it's dog day.
Oh, absolutely. I will say Earl is a fantastic name for a dog. I love that.
Well, still ahead on Live at 4, a wrap-up of this year's Back to School drive. Josh Sprider goes through the numbers and how well we did up next.
A1 Furniture and Mattress is closing their giant showroom, and that means the best prices ever. Everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold. Name brands at huge discounts for every room. Store closing sale on now at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
The burn pit at our base in Iraq had just shut down, but the poisons were around us everywhere. Back home, I got diagnosed with cancer, but the VA denied coverage to a lot of us who got sick. Tammy Baldwin knew that was wrong, and she wasn't going to let that stand. She worked with both parties to pass a law. So now, thousands of us exposed to toxic chemicals are getting the care that we deserve. It took a fight, but Tammy Baldwin, she's a hell of a fighter.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off installation or 60-month no-interest financing. This is one of our best deals of the year, so visit our website or call the number for your new floor today.
After careful review of medical guidance and research on pain relief, my recommendation is simple. Every home should have Salon Paws. Powerful, yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend Salon Paws. It's good medicine.
Save big money with these hot deals at Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Smooth patio blocks are just $133 each. Foaming Wasp and Hornet Killer, only $149. An 8-pack of sports drink is $4.99. A 12-pack of toilet paper, only $3.79. These hot deals won't last long. Hurry in before time runs out. Sign up for Menards emails to get more hot deals, plus the weekly flyer right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
Maya knows how quality care can bring out a smile. But it's been a few dog years since she was able to enjoy a smile of her own. Good thing Aspen Dental offers affordable, complete care all in one place. With flexible hours and weekend appointments. Plus 20% off treatment plans for everyone. Loving our patients unconditionally. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
Come and get your love.
Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. But most of all, that instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
A1 Furniture and Mattress is closing their giant showroom, and that means the best prices ever. Everything must go. Over $1 million in inventory must be sold. Name brands at huge discounts for every room. Store closing sale on now at A1 Furniture and Mattress.
Many kids in the 608 are gearing up to head back to school over the next week, and some are already off to a great start this year thanks to all of you at home.
Josh Sprider is here with a follow-up to our News 3 Now Back to School drive.
The numbers are in today, and we're deeming this year's Back to School drive yet another success. Of course, we couldn't have done it without your generous support at home, our News 3 Now viewers. With help from the community donations, both physical items and monetary funds, we're proud to say we helped more than 900 students across Dane County get the school supplies they need ahead of their first day back this fall. Here are just a few of the estimated numbers of items we got during our initiative this year. We're talking more than 600 backpacks donated, along with 1,300 notebooks and 1,100 folders.
We put an ask out to the overall community and our donors and supporters to support this campaign, whether it was in kind by making purchases, volunteering their time to help us sort all of the supplies needed for our families, as well as donating monetary where we're able to shop and get the supplies needed. We received very positive participation within the community.
The work doesn't stop here for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County. They now turn their attention to after-school programs during the school year and are always looking for volunteer support. To learn how you can help, just go to the story at channel3000.com. Our next community campaign is coming up next month when we start talking Coats for Kids. In the 608 this afternoon, I'm Josh Breiter, News 3 Now.
And coming up on Live at 4, it is a hot one today. I mean, really, this whole week, it's going to be hot.
All right, stay inside, be safe if you can, and we'll show you how you can protect all of your pets in this week's heat, even the ones you can't bring inside.
Join Dane County Humane Society for the epic rivalry, cat versus dog.
It's the best tailgate in town. Bark and Wine, September 21st. Reserve your place today.
I was robbed. They tried to run me over with a getaway car. He almost killed me right over here. He was laughing as he fractured my skull.
Amanda's attacker was an illegal immigrant drug dealer arrested twice before, but released by San Francisco DA Kamala Harris.
If Kamala Harris hadn't let him out, this never would have happened to me.
Kamala put violent illegals, convicted felons, back on the streets.
Kamala just doesn't care about protecting people like me.
Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
Try it this Labor Day for only $14.95 plus free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Rewards Club members at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison can get a ticket for a promotional drawing by visiting the Rewards Club booth. Promotional drawings can be either physical or virtual tickets. Physical tickets will be placed in a drawing barrel, while virtual tickets can be redeemed at a promotional kiosk. Visit Ho Chunk Gaming Madison and grab your tickets at the Rewards Club booth today.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Who is she talking to?
More lies from Donald Trump. The truth? On Kamala Harris's watch, violent crime went down. Her record as district attorney and attorney general? Locking up child abusers, online predators, and violent offenders, and shutting down international drug cartels. Under Donald Trump, a violent crime wave. And Trump ordered MAGA extremists to kill the bipartisan border security bill. Trump just talks tough. Kamala Harris is tough.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Join Dane County Humane Society for the epic rivalry, cat versus dog.
It's the best tailgate in town. Bark and Wine, September 21st. Reserve your place today.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Well, it looks nice out, but it's, like I said, gross out.
Yeah, it looks it. I don't know if it really feels it, though, from what I've felt this morning or today.
I managed to be on a boat all week, and I wish I were on one today because we are looking at a tropical for one more day. Those are our weather words.
Yes, absolutely. I was begging for pool days, but I don't know if this is what I meant. Kelly Sliff goes out on the patio. Kelly, tell us about what this next week has in store.
You know, I love heat. Okay, I lived in Texas for many years, and I love the heat and humidity, but having this on, it's not fun. It's just not. It's just gross, as Brady had mentioned, and it's going to be another stifling day tomorrow. We're going to have to deal with the high heat, high humidity. 93 degrees is the actual temperature right now in Madison, 97 in Boscobel. So I know a lot of folks have to work out in this. You got to drink plenty of fluids, take a lot of breaks, and try to stay in the shade as much as you possibly can. This is the heat index. This is factored in the humidity. Feels like 106 in Madison, 114 right now in Boscobel. A lot of times that moisture really pools right along those Wisconsin river valleys, and that's what we're seeing. 103, it feels like in Janesville and across Dane County. 109 in Middleton at 108, currently the heat index in Wanakee. These are the dew point temperatures. You typically don't see them climb above 80, but we've got one for you. Decorah, Iowa, right now, that dew point is 82. That is extremely tropical air that we have in place, and that's why we have a first warn alert day. All of southern Wisconsin, not only because of the heat, but occasionally we can't rule out some stronger storms rolling through with all this heat we have in place. We do have a excessive heat warning in effect tonight, but we'll also have one go into effect from 1 o'clock till 7 o'clock again tomorrow. We've only had 8 excessive heat warnings here in southern Wisconsin. As you go back all the way to 2011, we did have one last year, but typically we only get one every year and a half or so. It'd be nice to be out on the lake trying to stay cool in that lake water, but temperatures right now 93. Temperatures probably not dropping below 80 until after midnight tonight. And that's when we could have a thunderstorm roll through, and we'll track that possibility of a rain event coming in later tonight coming up.
Thanks, Kelly. Well, the heat this week is affecting more than just people.
News 3 Now's Jalen Banks found animals are equally suffering, and he has that story. Jalen?
Hey, Braden and Brady. I mean, for anybody that stepped outside, we can all agree that it's pretty toasty, but luckily for most of us, we can just simply go inside with ourselves and our dogs and cats. But what about our non-traditional pets? So, for instance, let's say you have chickens or goats that you can't just simply bring inside to an air-conditioned home. But I caught up with a local farmer, and yes, they say they have to be acclimated to the heat eventually, but we can help them by creating areas of shade, keeping them hydrated, with plenty of water around them, and installing fans in their coops or barns.
We're fortunate that we've got a lot of shade around, but if you do see them in distress, you got to get them out of the sun. And if you don't have shade, put some kind of tarp up or something that just covers them from the heat. And as I said, if you spray the ground, that kind of helps them stay a little cool as well.
Feeding them fruits and veggies is also a useful tool to keep them cool and hydrated. And tonight at 6, we'll have more on how you can keep them cool, as well as more signs on whether or not your animals are uncomfortable and in distress from the heat. For now, reporting in Fitchburg, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Jalen, thank you. 9 teenagers from the Reedsburg area have been cited for disorderly conduct against an Amish community. This according to the Sauk County Sheriff's Department. They say this follows reports of harassing behavior towards the Amish. Police were first alerted to the acts 2 weeks ago before making contact with a vehicle suspected to be involved. The citations come on the heels of Reedsburg High School canceling the football team's first 2 games of the season due to unspecified conduct by football players.
A resident at the Dane County Jail was found dead this morning. Dane County Sheriff's deputies and jail medical staff responded to an intake housing unit in the public safety building portion of the jail for a resident discovered unresponsive. They immediately began life-saving efforts, but revival was unsuccessful.
And in case you needed a reminder of just how important Wisconsin is in the race for the White House, you'll need a scorecard to keep track of all the candidates appearing in the state this week. Republican vice presidential nominee Ohio Senator J.D. Vance will speak Wednesday in De Pere, his 4th visit to the state this month. Former President Donald Trump is holding a town hall meeting in La Crosse on Thursday. And Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren campaigned for Vice President Kamala Harris today in Grafton, just outside Milwaukee. She spoke about the abortion issue and the role it's playing in the campaign.
There is one and only one way to protect access to abortion, to protect access to contraception, to protect access to IVF, and that is to elect Kamala Harris as president.
Warren is heading to the Fox Valley tomorrow with appearances in Green Bay and Oshkosh.
We've learned a Dodgeville man has died after being stuck underneath a skid steer for several hours. The man is identified as 63-year-old Randy Cox. He died at UW Hospital last night. Cox was operating the skid steer on a slope when it rolled multiple times, throwing him off before landing on him. He was stuck for about 3 hours before being located. The Iowa County Coroner's Office is assisting the Iowa County Sheriff's Office in this investigation.
Well, you still have until this Saturday to grab a final bite or brew over at Madison's Essen House restaurant. Its future, though, is in a bit of a limbo. That's according to members of the German restaurant staff who spoke to News 3 Now today. They say they had a closed-door meeting to discuss the sale of Essen House and come back in. Staff say the restaurant is still planned to close Saturday, August 31st, but depending on how the sale goes, they could reopen in a couple weeks. Dow Jones Industrial Average closes at a record high, even as losses for big tech pull the S&P 500 lower and the NASDAQ lower. The Dow gained 65 points while the NASDAQ was down 152 and the D&P lost 17.
Every year, Americans throw out nearly 60 million tons of food, and most of it ends up in the landfill. But there is a growing number of states repurposing what has already been tossed. The organization called Extra Food, based in San Francisco, collects groceries from supermarkets that would otherwise head to the landfill. They then deliver the food to local nonprofits and pantries.
I don't think anybody or any business likes food waste. At the same time, there also has to be effective enforcement on the back end.
About a third of the U.S. food supply goes uneaten. When it rots in the landfill, well, it produces methane gas. California now requires all supermarkets to give away food that is still fit to eat rather than just throw it away. I like seeing that, repurposing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, coming up, we have the Loper Report.
Will has some thoughts on whether you should check out the psychological thriller film Blink Twice. That's coming up.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. We've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The alarming spike in inflation soaring to its highest level in nearly 40 years.
That is called Bidenomics.
Gas prices rose again today, reaching a new all-time high.
We're still dealing with inflation, and we've got super high interest rates at the same time.
Bidenomics is working.
2/3 of Americans are just struggling to make ends meet.
And this comes after Friday's jobs report showing a spike in unemployment.
And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Champion's big window sale is back.
Do you have ugly, hard-to-open, drafty windows? Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy two, you get two free. Buy two Champion windows, get two free? I guess that means if you buy four, you get four free. Buy six, get six free. Buy 10, get 10 free.
Hurry, Champion's buy two, get two free sale is for a limited time.
Great job, everybody. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you, and you feel matters. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health, know how much you matter to this world.
What would you think of a man who builds homes to rescue children from abandonment, sex trafficking, and slavery?
An employer who does charitable work alongside us and pays for us to go around the world helping kids in need.
He helps single moms in Wisconsin.
Funds food banks here.
And fights sex trafficking across America.
That man is my husband, Eric, and he'll fight for you, just like he fights for them.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
After a serious motorcycle crash, don't trust the insurance company. Call Gruber Law Offices first. We've been representing injured bikers for over 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
New at 5, this intense heat isn't just dangerous, it's bad for business. We're looking at why some local establishments take a hit with these higher temperatures.
Southern Wisconsin will continue to see alert day conditions for hot temperatures and the potential for severe weather through Tuesday evening. Coming up at 5, we track the severe weather threat tonight and the severe weather threat for Tuesday.
And ahead at 6, we'll tell you why a local high school canceled their first football games of the season, why it involves the Amish community. That's tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet?
I have.
Yeah.
I have seen it.
It was a fun movie, and it's still
so
doing
fun.
well. Yeah.
A lot of cameos. I won't spoil any of them, but a lot of cameos.
Yeah. It's at the top of the box office yet again.
But it was the 4th film on the list that intrigued our Will Loper. Here's his take on Blink Twice.
Hey, Brady and Braden. Deadpool and Wolverine clawed their way back to the top of the box office in a slow weekend, as the newest film in theaters, Blink Twice, only made it to 4th with $7 million. But is it worth seeing?
Slater King, let's get to the question that everybody is dying for you to answer.
Where have you been?
I guess I just needed to disappear for a little while. So I sort of bought an island.
Zoe Kravitz co-writes and directs her first film starring Naomi Ackie as a cocktail waitress named Frida, who works an event attended by tech billionaire Slater King.
Okay, here we go. Jess, Frida, this is my childhood buddy, Cody.
When Slater King invites Frida and her friend to his private island, the star-struck pair agree.
This is crazy. Did we just jet off to a billionaire's island with a bunch of strangers?
No, he's not a stranger.
He's Slater King.
If you're thinking this is a bad idea, you're absolutely right.
Phones, please. Wait, for real?
You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do.
For much of the movie, things seem fine on the island, except for little hints that something is not quite right.
Can't you feel it? There's something wrong with this place.
At a certain point, of course, we do find out exactly what's going on.
Where's Jess?
Who's Jess?
I won't spoil that here, but I will say the film is a strong directorial debut in every way from Kravitz, with impeccable sound design, editing, and strong performances that all work together to elevate the film into a powerful thriller with some social commentary to boot.
I feel like we're forgetting a lot of stuff.
It won't be for everyone, and it falls apart some by the end. But those looking for a well-made thriller horror should see Blink Twice, playing in theaters now.
I'm going for the phones. Keep a lookout.
For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
I'm seeing that tomorrow.
I am very excited to hear what you think.
I need you to see it so we can talk about it.
I know, I'm a little nervous. I get kind of scared at the scary movies, but it doesn't seem too scary.
Yeah.
Not like gory or anything, it doesn't seem like. You'll have to tell me.
Just sit nearby strangers and people will think that you're with friends.
Yes,
and they won't,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Then they won't know. Well, it turns out you don't need to be an Olympic athlete to have an Olympic mindset.
Next on Live at 4, Shyla Mergain is here to talk about how you can help your children as they go back to school.
Drugs, gangs, and crime are flooding into our communities. But instead of getting tough on the border, Senator Tammy Baldwin supported amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants, including convicted criminals. Criminals like an illegal immigrant with multiple DUI charges who went on to kill a Wisconsin father of 3 while driving drunk again. Tell Senator Tammy Baldwin no amnesty for illegal immigrants, especially criminals. Vote to secure the border.
Looking to buy or sell? Call Tommy Van Ness Realty, First Weber's #1 team, dedicated to making your real estate dreams a reality.
At Tommy Van Ness Realty, we understand that buying or selling a home is more than just a transaction. It's about finding the perfect match for your lifestyle.
Trust Tommy Van Ness Realty for all of your real estate needs.
Why settle for less? Call Tommy Van Ness.
Old windows? Compromise your home's comfort. Vinyl windows, a 1970s relic, aren't built for extreme weather. They warp and crack, becoming vulnerable to the elements. At Next Door & Window, we have the answer. Fiberglass. Our Ultrex fiberglass windows last up to 50 years, longer than any other window you can buy. And while other companies cut corners and never call you back, we've got your back. When you demand tomorrow's comfort, Next delivers. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
Want to instantly look more attractive and years younger? The solution is whiter teeth. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking. It's time you discovered Power Swabs.
The first time I tried it, my husband was so excited. And he said, I can't believe how white your teeth are. From that point on, I've been sold.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. After 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Call this Labor Day to receive 50% off.
Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. But most of all, that instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Well, here we are in Las Vegas, 95 degrees there today. I think we are competing with Vegas weather
Yeah,
here.
which I don't know if I love competing with Vegas, although probably more humid here than there.
I think so. Oh gosh, it's that humidity.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You betcha. Well, there's a lot to learn from Olympic athletes, and doing so may help your children as they head back to school.
UW Health's distinguished psychologist Shyla Murgain is here to talk about how instilling an Olympic mindset can set your students up for much more than a gold medal. She brought a special guest with her.
Hello.
I brought my daughter, Elevin, and she's starting back at school on Tuesday at her little preschool daycare.
Very nice. Well, thanks for coming to hang out with us.
Next step, the Olympics, huh?
I think so. We're instilling that Olympic mindset early on.
So when you do that, what is the goal? What's the main goal for that?
Well, we want to really set our kids up for success, and like how Olympians train, we want to help them focus on mental skills. And I think one thing to really instill in our children is their potential. We have so much more potential intellectually, academically, athletically, even socially than we realize. And we can do that by focusing on effort and hard work in our kids versus the outcomes. You know, any particular day, well, you know, you have good days, bad days, but instead teaching them resilience, that stick-to-itness, bouncing back, and hard work to move in the direction of their potential.
Yeah, that's very good.
One of the things too that can be so hard is like getting in your own head, and our kids surely get in their own heads as well. What about being in the moment is kind of, you know, so important about our kids and how we can teach them to do that?
Thank you. I think one of the things I've been working on with my daughter is just breathing, mindful breathing. You know, athletes perform best in the zone, and many kids can just be caught up in their head, ruminating, worrying, dwelling on things, and that takes away from their joy and their performance. So teaching kids simple centering mindfulness practices like taking a couple breaths, or even having an anchor like maybe a piece of jewelry they're wearing, or even a gesture like touching their fingers together, just to bring their mind into the moment, and calming and centering is good.
I do that too whenever I'm kind of feeling like out of sorts. Like I'll touch a wall, or and it kind of grounds you. So, you know, the mind is such a powerful thing. So is it also important for kids to just kind of see what they want to accomplish and envision it in their mind? Is that important?
Absolutely. Visualization is a key skill. We're training our brain for performance. So as kids are heading back to school, parents can think about various scenarios with your kids of what they might encounter, and then plan ahead. And I really want to encourage parents to help their kids develop a highlights reel this year of times where they did really well, almost like your personal YouTube highlights reel, and have that in their back of their mind so that when they go into a similar challenging situation, they can flick back in time to that past success, access it through visualization, and then flick forward in seeing themselves having a similar, if not better, outcome. And that's really important to prime the brain so they do well.
She's done with this interview.
I think so.
Is there anything else that parents can be doing in terms of teaching their kids techniques for how to do this and how to make sure that they're in the right mindset?
Absolutely. So it's so important how we talk to our kids is how they learn to talk to themselves. And wanted to stand here?
Hello, do you want to stand?
Elevin, there we go. I think she wants her big girl chair.
I get my own seat.
That's all right. That's all right.
And so, you know, self-talk is so important. We think if we beat ourselves up, if we're critical, we're going to do better. Instead, just treat yourself kindly with compassion like you would talk to a best friend. Teach our children how to really support themselves, be an inner cheerleader, and even just like some instructional talk, like, hey, I need to remember to do this, this. If we focus on what's next, often that quiets the mind, so we have our mind as an inner ally, a friend versus an inner critic.
And well, before we go, this is Elevin's third time on our show.
It is.
Yeah, she's getting so big.
She is. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Hi. Yeah, I think she's being a little shy,
you
but
did
yes,
a good job today.
she did. Very good. Thanks for having us, and a happy school year for the upcoming families.
And good luck,
Thanks so
everyone.
much.
Thank you both. Well, let's go outside to our patio where Kelly Slifka is at. Now, I'm envisioning some cooler weather.
Well, yeah, we're going to have to wait a few days. We're going to get rid of this real high heat over the next couple of days. We have to deal with it again tomorrow, but temperatures will be seasonably warm to close out the week, and then we'll get the cooler, more autumn-like temperatures as we head into this upcoming Labor Day weekend. You know, we always talk about the dew points, and people always wonder, why is the upper Midwest so humid this time of the year? Well, we got all this corn crop, and what it does, it sweats a lot when it gets real hot, and that's why these dew point temperatures are so high. We've got an 81-degree dew point right now in Austin, Minnesota. So much of southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, into Iowa, Illinois, seeing these dew points, very oppressive humidity out here. So that's really factoring in to the uncomfortable weather that we are having here in southern Wisconsin. So going to have to deal with this. You know, I am having some computer problems, unfortunately, and I think I know what the issue is, but right now with those dew points in the upper 70s to low 80s, it's making it feel like triple digits. We've had some triple digits heat indices all across southern Wisconsin and even into parts of Illinois and Iowa as well. So dealing with this heat and humidity. It looks like we will get rid of some of this heat and humidity by the end of the week, as temperatures are expected to back off a little bit later on. All right, taking a look at our alert day that we have going on across southern Wisconsin. This is in effect this evening, not only because of some of the heat, but also some of the humidity, where our heat index could be above 100 throughout the evening, again above 100 tomorrow, and also some storms that are expected to roll on through. Our heat index, as we go through the evening, noticing the heat index out toward the Wisconsin River Valley, the Mississippi River Valley, up 113, 115. We're near 105, 106 in Madison. This computer model wants to bring in an outflow boundary, maybe some rain-cooled areas to the north and west as we get toward midnight, and that would be our opportunity of seeing a shower or thunderstorm roll through. As we look at our weather outlook tonight, we do have a slight risk of severe weather. That would include the possibility of some large hail and strong winds. Tomorrow, that severe weather threat is mainly in the evening hours. As we go into the late evening hours, most of the storm should pass through. So this evening, fairly quiet throughout the midnight hour, but as we get toward midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, you do see that cluster of storms rolls on through. Most of this affecting areas north of Madison. Can't rule out a storm, though, rolling through Madison in the wee hours of the morning, but a lot of this out of here by 2, 3 o'clock. Then we go into tomorrow. We're going to be upper 80s and low 90s throughout the afternoon hours. Heat index once again above 100. A few showers and storms. This computer model not indicating a whole lot, but anytime you get a storm with this heat and humidity, it does have the potential of producing a severe storm here and there. Right now, 93 in Madison. It's 95 in Janesville, 97 in Boscobel. Across Dane County right now, 90 right now in Waunakee, also Sun Prairie. First warning forecast, the alert day again tomorrow because of the heat and humidity and also some strong to severe evening storms rolling through. 83 on Wednesday, so we do drop the temperature a little bit more seasonable for the end of the week. Another chance of some stronger storms Thursday night, and that's with a cold front that'll arrive and drop our temperatures. But right now, setting up for a beautiful Labor Day weekend, highs in the 70s and low 80s.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The alarming spike in inflation soaring to its highest level in nearly 40 years.
That is called Bidenomics.
Gas prices rose again today, reaching a new all-time high.
We're still dealing with inflation, and we've got super high interest rates at the same time.
Bidenomics is working.
2/3 of Americans are just struggling to make ends meet.
And this comes after Friday's jobs report showing a spike in unemployment.
And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Imagine trying to take on one of the big car companies. It's not easy. Yet this year, one local law firm finalized the largest compensatory verdict in state history against an automaker, over $38 million. And it was no fluke. That same firm has been holding big car companies accountable for faulty designs that cause injury for over 50 years. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
I was robbed. They tried to run me over with a getaway car.
He almost killed me right over here. He was laughing as he fractured my skull.
Amanda's attacker was an illegal immigrant drug dealer, arrested twice before, but released by San Francisco DA Kamala Harris.
If Kamala Harris hadn't let him out, this never would have happened to me.
Kamala put violent illegals, convicted felons, back on the streets.
Kamala just doesn't care about protecting people like me.
Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Coming up at 5, we'll continue to outline alert day conditions that are expected to last through Tuesday evening for hot temperatures, and we'll track the potential for severe weather.
And this heat isn't only dangerous, it's bad for business. Why some local establishments take a hit with the higher temperatures. Next at 5. News 3 Now is focusing on the issues and the races that matter where you live, with 3 for the people.
Talking with local candidates, looking at both sides of the issues and fact-checking it all, so you can cast your vote with confidence.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now.
Take a look at this. It's International Beatle Week, and fans of the Beatles are celebrating in Liverpool, England. That's the city where it all began. And this year, they have the chance to spend the night where the Fab Four partied and played many of their first gigs before they became famous. The Casbah Coffee Club, 65 years later, the famous club has turned into an Airbnb.
The Beatles suites start at about $150 a night. Airbnb says they've seen the biggest interest from fans here in the U.S. and, of course, across Britain.
We'll be right back.
I'm Vice President of the National Border Patrol Council. America needs a commander-in-chief who's tough on illegal immigration. Kamala Harris fails that test.
We're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct. That is correct.
Kamala was Biden's border czar. She supported sanctuary cities and taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. And she created the worst border crisis in American history. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic, don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
Hi, I'm Steve Lindenau, owner of Crazy Lenny's e-bikes. We are the e-bike experts. We've been doing this for well over a decade, and we'll use that expertise to get you into the right e-bike. We have the right bike here for everyone, and our knowledgeable staff will help select the right bike for you. So if you're looking for an e-bike, give us a call or stop on by, because nobody e-bikes like we bikes.
If you're about to replace your roof, stop. There's a solution about 80% less expensive. 9 out of 10 roofs can be saved by RoofMax. Guaranteed to extend the life of your current roof by 5 to 15 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. RoofMax's deep penetrating power restores flexibility and water protection. Nobody wants to replace their roof. Restore it instead with RoofMax for 80% less. Call now for a free roof inspection.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I was 27 years old, and the doctor told me I have MS. You quickly realize what's the most important things in life: family, friendships, love, helping other people. It makes you much more empathetic and compassionate to those that are struggling and suffering. I wanted to achieve my goals and dreams, but I wanted to take my resources and save as many children as I possibly could.
That wraps up today's Live at 4. Meanwhile, Brady's in the newsroom with what's coming up.
Well, tomorrow on Live at 4, Consumer Reports helps you find the most reliable car that fits all of your needs. And next at 5, the UW football team kicks off their season Friday night at Camp Randall. Here's what Coach Luke Fickle thinks about beer sales being offered for the first time at a home game. Well, thanks for joining us on Live at 4. We hope to see you back here tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right after this.